Remnant 2 is already here, despite only being announced less than a year ago. We're in the middle of playing it, and we're sure if you are, you're considering the possibility of playing with friends. If you're unsure on how that's gonna work, you've come to the right place. Let me tell you how the co-op systems work in Remnant 2. When you boot up Remnant 2, you won't be able to join your friends right away. You'll have to create your character, get through a short tutorial, find the hub area, and talk to several vendors, including choosing your archetype, which is your class, and then finish the story setup by touching the large red crystal. You'll then be ready to join or host a session. All in all, this takes around 30 to 45 minutes. To join a session, you have two options. Head to your menu screen and scroll over to System. Click your friend list, find your friend, and click to join. If you plan on joining a specific friend that you know is online, this is going to be the quickest and easiest method. You can also join friends by going to the World Crystal, go down to Join Game, and you'll see a ring with tons of options for random games to join in specific locations with difficulty options as well, which is great. But if your friend is on, you'll also see them and be able to join them through this menu as well. There is no campaign shared progression in Remnant 2, but there is character progression. This means when you join your friend's world, you'll still level up your character, pick up loot and resources and bring them back to your game, but not retain any story progression. This is due to the dynamic level generation that makes no two campaigns the same. For instance, my first level was Narud, while Gabe's first level was Lassam. If you want to experience the story together, you're going to want to pick one friend to be the host and consistently join their game every time you play. As for player agency, there are two key additions to note, knowing that one player will be the host and one will be the second player. Number one is that all loot is shared across all players, including boss drops, resources, and even quest items for that host's world. The only thing that won't be shared is ammo pickup, so be generous in sharing ammo. Number two is that while you're going to see all major story cutscenes, and your character is going to be in some of those cutscenes, it'll mostly be from the host player's experience and perspective. And any smaller conversations with NPCs will only be seen by the player who starts the conversation. The other players just kind of hang out to the side and listen in. It's a small gripe, but it's good to know. Level scaling is a bit tricky to figure out in Remnant 2, especially regarding co-op. I'm going to quote directly from a Q&A with the development team where they said when you're solo, there's a set scale behind the scenes for that player based off the difficulty they choose, then that begins to multiply in a particular way. Quantity scaling occurs when you invite more people to your party. Definitely it doesn't mean having more people is easier, in fact, that things could be pretty tricky when you invite more than one person to the game. So based off of that, it seems that the initial level is based on a combination of the host's current weapon level and archetype level. From there, the game will increase in difficulty with additional co-op partners. Attack of the Fanboy claims it never goes 3 levels above the host level when they enter the world, so we can't say whether or not your friend who's beaten the game and is 15 plus levels above you will ruin the experience, but we do know that there is some sort of difficulty scaling going on in co-op. Finally, to quickly answer this one, the game has no crossplay at launch, so choose your system wisely if you want to play with friends. Hopefully this guide helps you get up and running with co-op in Remnant 2. If you want to know our thoughts on the game, you're gonna have to wait, as we plan on doing a full review and not an initial co-op impressions video. Be sure to subscribe to catch that and everything else you need to know in the co-op gaming landscape. Until then, we'll catch you next time on another episode of the Co-op Bros.